Hello, everybody. Welcome to my new Sunday market breakdown. So we start as usually with the DXY. So what can we see on the weekly? The weekly has now completed my weekly completion from that bearish W. So from this first leg, second leg, third leg here, like this. Also first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, and then the fifth leg was completed here because this was our same lows here, which we received, but we didn't receive the same highs, but we went straight till the minus 27 of the weekly. So if I take my Fibonacci from this high here till this new low, then we had the minus 27 Fib completion aligning here with that descending trend line here, descending channel that is possibly forming. So we have our first tap, second tap, then the third tap here, and then we went back to the upside. So what we can see right now for the DXY is, okay, we had that Fib completion weekly bullish candle received. The first structure that we encounter is this clear support here, which can become resistance, or we can go much further to the upside till this smaller bearish W here that can possibly play out. So we will see what will happen. So there is a possibility that we can go more to the upside. So from the daily, now we can see the daily is still bearish. We have here our first leg, second leg, third leg. So this is the bigger bearish W, as you can see from that weekly point. So the first point of structure on this daily is this clear support, which can become resistance. So we have also this bullish M against the daily trend. So this can be our correction. This can play out. This is an IC. So we can go maybe back till this point and then go back till this daily first point of structure. Then it would be a line with this descending trend line here, pulling the price down from there. So I expect potential more bullish momentum, or we can go directly going to the downside here to this IC and then potentially making that bullish M, then to go over to here potentially. So we will see on the 4-hour what is there forming. On the 4-hour, we are still going to the upside, so this is a clear bullish M. So first we need to break this bullish M for potentially making then this daily bigger bullish M here. So yeah, this is what I can see for the DXY. So then the first trade I'm looking at is GBPCAD. So if I go to the weekly chart, what can you see on the weekly chart? The weekly chart is bullish. We have here this bigger bullish M, first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg coming back till this resistance point that can become support for potentially more upside momentum. And yeah, the trend is with us. We have 3 of the 4 criteria. We have the trend with us, the pattern with us. We have the Fib. If you take a Fib from the lower to the high, you can see already that it is aligning with the Fib levels. The only thing that was against us is our weekly candle close. You have a weekly bearish candle close, so 3 of the 4 with us. Then I went to the daily. And what I can see on the daily, you have this major daily bullish M here, because we completed this shoulder 1 here at shoulder 2. We completed that. So then we went aggressively to the upside, and now we are coming very aggressively to the downside. Only thing is we have a flat wall, so this is very impulsive, no candles in between there also, so that's why it's coming back so easily. And why we have now this daily retrace candle, blue candle, is because this was clear support, resistance, 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 support. So this is a clear supply and demand zone. I can draw it like this, daily supply and demand zone here, and then we made the retrace candle. So now we made the retrace candle. So now of this big pattern, daily bullish and big pattern, I can look for a 4-hour pattern because it's in our Fib levels and we have a retrace candle. So I went till the 4-hour. What I can see on the 4-hour, we have this nice bullish M under the previous lower high. So we have our first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, potentially going back to this higher low. And then we can go to the upside to the daily 4-hour minus 27, sorry, for around 2.2%. Or if you want to take higher stop loss, yeah, it would be around 2% for sure. So this is a trade I'm looking at for GBPCAD, like this. So then the trades I'm also looking at is AUDUSD. So these are the trades that needs to have some more development. So what can you see on the weekly? On the weekly, we have a bearish W, a major bearish W. So this is, as we are speaking of, yeah, for around yeah, 343 days. So this is very long. This is just a, yeah, this can be a position trade, but we are swing traders. So what can we see? If I look closer, this was our high, higher high, and we broke it from here. So then we went to the downside. So then we made there this bigger bearish W. And here we closed above this weekly high week. We closed above that. So this is indicational bullish for the weekly. So potentially we can make a trade. Reversal, sorry. Shoulder one here had shoulder two. So we made already a double top with a bearish candle close. So this is a nice trade to take to the downside to make that shoulder one here, head, shoulder two. We have the trend still with us because it's not a confirmed trend reversal. The trend is not yet changed, only indicational. And we can go till that shoulder one, and then we can potentially go back to the upside to have that bullish M for more upside momentum. So we have three of the four criteria with us. Very nice to see. So we have that bearish candle trend, and then also the pattern. And if I go to the daily, what can you see on the daily? You can see on the daily that we made here this low new high here. But for me, this is a nice bearish W to take more to the downside. We have our institutional candle between all the red candles, which is working like a magnet. So this can pull back, and then we can go more to the downside. So I want to see if this bearish W wants to go back till this IC, and then we can trade to the downside. So that's why I'm looking at this trade. Then on the 4 hour, the price is having here some potential deceleration and then some corrective nature potentially for going more downside momentum. So we will see what will happen there. So yeah, then USDJPY on the weekly. I have 3 USD pairs, so I need to look which one would be the best for me also. So you need to have that in mind, keep that in mind. So what can we see on the weekly? We are bullish. We have our bullish M here. We made that false break of this weekly lows wicks, which was a trade last week of. This was a trade for going more upside momentum. And we have 4 of the 4. We have our weekly pattern. We have our trend. We have our candle. We have our FIB with us. So 4 of the 4 criteria. So very nice. Then I went to the daily. And on the daily, you can see we can potentially make that speculation for that daily pullback. So because we had here our shoulder one, had shoulder two that can potentially play out, but that doesn't mean that the trend is bearish now. It's indicational bearish, so the trend is still bullish. So now we need to complete that head and shoulder. So the price wants to go to tap these head and shoulders. So what can we also see is we have here that bullish M that we can trade with that IC between all the blue candles. You have one red candle, which is acting like a magnet mostly of the times. So I want to see then the price coming back till this IC and then trading till at head and shoulders, and potentially then looking for that short if there is an entry that can form. So that's why I'm looking at it. Then on the 4 hour, the 4 hour is still moving very bullish, as you can see, making higher highs, higher lows. Now we need to make some very aggressive pullback, maybe some correction, and then a pattern. We need to see what will happen there, of course. So yeah, then USDCAD, next one, the USD pair. If I go to the weekly, you can see we have 2 of the 4 criteria with us for the short. So here I was already looking at the long because we had here that weekly low liquidity taken, and we could go for that head and shoulders on the daily. So the pullback I was looking for on USDCAD. So As you can see on the weekly, we are bearish because this was our high, higher high, we made a new low. And from there on, we were making this bigger bearish W, or also this smaller one, this bearish W, that can play against us, and also the fib level that can play against us from this high till this low. No, it's not a fib level actually, so fib level is not playing against us yet, but this one is playing against us, so we haven't completed that -27 of that weekly fib. So we have two criteria with us. We have that -27 fib completion from the high here to the low, -27 fib completion. And then I went to the daily. And on the daily, what you can see on the daily is you have here your shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2 with a potential smaller bearish W within it. So a pattern within a pattern, you can see it also like that. You have also some clear support, supply and demand zone also, support, resistance, resistance, support, potential resistance. So it's a very nice supply and demand zone. So here was a pullback trade, weekly liquidity zone, low wicks of that weekly, as you can see, and then we could trade till the head and shoulders, which is still in play. I missed this trade, but if I was in this trade, it was still active, and then I would take here fully partials out because it's a major zone that the sellers would kick in from. So on the 4-hour, what would we want to see? On the 4-hour, you can see impulse, correction. Now we have again that impulse, and now we want to see a deceleration or a pattern forming on that USDCAD trade. So that's why I'm looking at it. So then next pair, GBPJPY. If you go on the weekly, what can you see on the weekly? We are following the 4 criteria with us for the short, because the trend is still bullish here. The only thing that is with us is that fib completion from the low here till the high, -680 fib completion. So after that big impulse, we can have some correction, which we can trade on because we have some room till this first resistance that can become support. We have some room because this is a flat wall, so we can go back to the downside. So we have that weekly candle against us for a potential short. But if I go to the daily, you can see we were trading already this pullback, and then we went break even. And if you look, you can have the potential shoulder 1, double top, head, shoulder 2 here with some support here in this head. Yes. So, and then you have that smaller correction here, and then you can have that fake out flag for potential more downside momentum. So this is what I can see on GBPJPY, and on the 4-hour, yeah, it's moving now impulsive to the upside. We had here our impulsive move, correction, impulse, maybe we can have another correction, and then impulse, and then we can go more to the downside. We will see. But we want to see here some decel pattern forming for more downside momentum. That's what I can see on GBPJPY. Then CADJPY on the weekly. What can you see? Weekly one in the 4 criteria for the short, because we had that weekly high selling region that is with us also. We have that fib completion, I guess. Yeah, we have still also the trend. We have this trend with us because this was our high, low, high, lower, low, and then we broke this wick here. So this high wick here, we broke it. So it's indication of bullish. So we can speculate for that pull back, potentially making that shoulder 1 here, head, shoulder 2, which can play out because we had here that massive impulsive move. So now we expect maybe a potential correction. And then, yeah, these inverted shoulders can play out, and we are at this weekly selling zone, so the sellers are kicking in. And if I go now till that daily zone, you can see you have that potential shoulder 1 here, head, shoulder 2, and yeah, this can play out. The only thing is the daily is still bullish. It's not a confirmed bearish trend. This is indicational. So first we need to have that bearish W first to speak of a confirmed switch in a daily trend. So on the 4-hour, what we want to see is the price going back till this zone and then some potential decel making. That's why I'm still looking at it. If we can tap again this daily zone for potential deceleration for more downside momentum or a pattern that can also play out. So then the last one, CHFJPY on the weekly. What can you see on the weekly? Weekly 3 of the 4 criteria are long. So we have our bullish trend. So the trend is bullish. We have our pattern with us, the bullish M here also. And the fib completion is against us. We have our low and our high. The fib minus 27 is against us. But yeah, we are still also bullish. We have that weekly bullish candle with us. Then I went to the daily, and on the daily we have our clear bullish M. We have our first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg coming back potentially to make that fifth leg to the daily minus 27. So I want to see that pull back after that impulse, some correction, corrective nature, and then we can go to the potential daily minus 27. So on the 4-hour, nothing that clear. It's an impulse, and after an impulse, we can speculate for that corrective nature, pull back to trade that long trade. So that are the trades I'm looking at this upcoming week. So I hope you liked it and have a nice trading week, everybody. See you next week. Bye.